Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Frank Barton from Barton Power Sports in West Memphis and Jonesboro sitting in with me, and we'll be talking to Frank throughout today's show about what's going on at Barton Power Sports, and also getting ready for the waterfowl season. We're already getting some reports from the teal folks. I've seen some great photos from folks who are having a chance to get out and shoot a few teal. And but right now, let's switch to a little bit of things that I like. I have, the older I get, the lower I get to the ground when I hunt. And I'm about as low right now as you can get. I'm on the ground, okay? And I'm really love to hunt out of ground blinds. And our good friends at Browning Camping out of Alps Mountaineering, which we've spotlighted on this show many, many times with Justin Leishman and some of the other folks from Browning Camping. Well, you folks out there are familiar with their Shadow Series pop-up ground blinds. Well, they've got something new for 2014, and who better to talk about it than the guy that's been involved in this thing since the project started, and that's Zach Scheidiger.
That's correct,
yep. Zach is with us from Browning Camping. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, Larry.
Hey, buddy, we appreciate you doing this. I know when you're called the Browning Camping product manager, you got to have a hands-on feel on this thing. So tell us a little about how the Shadow Series pop-up ground blind, what you've done to it, which was already a great blind,
right?
And tell us how that evolved into this new system that even makes it better.
Well, so we call it our silent track window system.
Ooh, yeah, like that. Yeah.
Essentially, it's a split-level window, which basically is cut right down the middle, and you're allowed to manipulate the windows to limitless positions. I mean, any way you want them open or closed, you can do that with this new silent track window system. What's great about it, too, is you can make adjustments while you're hunting, and it's like while there is game in front of you, and it's quiet enough, and
you can do it.
And you won't spook them. I mean, we've field tested them, and we've just had nothing but praise for this new system because it just allows the hunter to be so much more versatile.
What did you get? How did this idea evolve? I mean, I know you're out there in the front.
Yeah. Well, we're starting to have some young ones around here, too, hunting, and this is just a really great idea for the youth, too.
Yes,
because the split-level design allows you to just take the bottom portion of the window down, too, and usually if you have a younger one, they're sitting a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to open the window all the way up for them just to see out. They only need what they need to see, and then you're hidden in the shadows, essentially, with the rest of the window closed.
Well, it's almost even I'm a small guy, and I've had to put a cushion in my chair before, and sometimes, but this puts me at the level I need to be, and I like the quietness that you've been able to do this thing, and I bet you guys, when you field tested, some animals got pretty close.
Right, and just letting you be able to make those, I'll call them in-field adjustments with that, and it just allows you more opportunities to be successful with it. So we're incredibly happy with it and have had a lot of good things said about it. So,
and not only for hunting, I've got a lot of friends that love to take their camera into the woods and things.
Right.
This is an amazing thing if you've got shooting video.
Right.
Or anything like that, because in the past, it doesn't take much to spook some critters. You realize that, and I have to admit that I've spooked a few.
Well, yeah, I think everybody would have to.
Yeah, and sometimes I've said, well, I got to get that one real close, but I can't because I'm going to have to do this, move this thing around and things along that line. So I know that you've just created something that'll probably up my adrenaline a whole lot now. So I'm going to be a lot more confident to let them get close, but I'm still going to be nervous, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's part of it. And you can go, folks. We're talking to Zach Scheidiger He's a product manager for Browning Camping. You can go to www.browningcamping.com to find out this information, because I've kind of looked at it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it, because it's not only that, it's got some oversized zippers. I mean, and it's got a bag, right? It comes in a bag. It's easy to carry in, right?
Right.
And it's easy to set up, but they're always easy to set up, but I want to know, are they easy to put up?
Oh, yeah. What we have that's unique from other models is you'll notice when you get ours, there's a buckle on the bottom of the blind by the door. And if you have that buckle undone, because usually the hardest part is taking it down, because that last wall won't fold over.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah.
If that buckle is undone, that thing goes down like incredibly smooth. So
wow.
That is just another advantage that we have, and that is even included on our, I'll call them triangle door models.
Yeah.
Because we have them separate at the bottom as well. So if that buckle is undone when you're taking your blind down, then there is absolutely no problem in taking the blind down.
And Zach, I'm assuming this new window is on the silent track window system is on all of the Shadow series.
Yes, that is correct. It's on all 4 of our models.
Well, that's good. It's not just on one, so it's on.
No, it was too good not to utilize it throughout the line.
Well, I know that, and this ground blind, and ground blinds have really become popular.
They have, yep.
And it's not just because of age or anything like that. Of course, I've never hunted over 10 feet. I'm just I don't like heights. And,
right.
And I've discovered I bet I could do a saga of what my first ground blind looked like and what they look like now.
Right.
It's I don't know what else you'd come up with. You guys are probably sitting around saying, "Well, what can we do with this thing?"
Right.
You know, and I love the name. Did you call it that?
The silent track?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah. We did it here in house. We came up with it collectively, I believe. But
I'd take credit for it if I was you. You know.
Okay. It was me.
Okay, that's good. That was you. Well, tell me about. We have a lot of women listeners on Outdoors with Larry Ray here on ESPN 790. That you guys have also hooked up with Alps Outdoors to come up with a new Huntress women's pack, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Tell us about that.
Okay, it's a vented back. It's lightweight, and it has more of a women's specific shoulder strap and waist belt.
Mm-hmm.
So with those features, we just think it's a great women's pack, and it also is a great pack that will hold your bow or your gun, and it's not like it's some just small little pack that won't be really good for anything. It really has some pretty nice features. So.
Well, I've looked at it. It's got some pink on it too, right?
It has a touch of pink. Yep.
A touch of pink. You know,
yep.
we've got to have that in there just to distinguish and everything. And I know that one also. You can go to where can you find information about it?
That's www.alpsoutdoors.com.
There you go. www.alpsoutdoor with a Z at the end, outdoors.com. It's called the Huntress Women's Pack. It's new for 2014, and you need to check those out. Zach, thank you for being with us on Outdoors with Larry, buddy, and we'll stay in touch now that you've know what it's like. It's not too hard. You know, it
was our pleasure, so
yeah,
thank you for having us.
All right, well, you tell Justin and all the other folks hello for us, and we'll stay in touch and look forward to field testing that blind, okay?
All right, Larry, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, buddy. All right,
bye.
All right, we appreciate Zach Scheidiger being with us on there. And, you know, even if you're a duck hunter, you do a lot of camouflage. You don't want anybody to see you, and gizmos like that, and so it adds a lot to me. I like ground blinds. You hunt ducks on the ground, don't you?
Normally.
You don't get up in trees.
No, I climb up. There have been times I've been up in trees.
You have been up in trees?
Uh-huh.
Are those for high-flying ducks?
I have shot down on ducks before.
Yeah.
It was in Beaver Dam was the last time I
Whoa.
did that.
All right. Throwing in these big, impressive places and everything. So what's going on over at Barton Power Sports? Give us a tip of what we're going to might learn.
Wait, let's see. Well,
The slingshot is
the slingshot is coming.
It's coming.
It's
Okay.
coming. Hadn't made it yet.
Is there a
in October? I'm worried I'm going to be out of town when it comes in because I got a trip.
You got to go to California.
I got a little trip planned in October.
We'll be talking to you from California next time.
We hope so.
We hope so.
That time
difference
frame
may get you. Oh, you can set the alarm. Come on, you set the alarm.
I may have to come in late in the show.
You may have to come in late, but the slingshot is coming.
Slingshot's coming. 2015 products have started coming in, and the Kawasaki has come out with a new mule.
Oh, really?
A really, really nice product.
What's the difference?
The new mule
bigger?
has independent suspension front and rear.
Oh, okay.
Which we didn't have before. We had a solid rear axle before.
Mm-hmm.
And they've upped the speed on it.
Up the speed on it.
Up the speed. You know, the old mules were limited to 25 miles an hour, which is plenty fast.
It is.
But to a lot of people,
what is the new mule?
The new one will go just a little over 40 miles an hour now. So
it will.
Yeah. So it's been well received. And
will I get to ride on one of those
when we go hunting?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what. I'm not certain.
You got that floating machine.
I'm not certain what we're going to take out there yet.
We're not taking the slingshot.
Slingshot won't go duck.
Slingshot won't go.
So we'll see. So, but the new products they've come out with the venerable Sportsman 500, the world's #1 selling ATV. A lot of people don't realize that.
Is it really?
But it is. The Sportsman 500 is the world's #1 selling ATV. Has now become a Sportsman 570. 570 cc motor.
So they've
all Polaris engine.
More power in it then.
More power, fuel injected. Really, really nice product. Available with power steering.
Steering. That's amazing.
And that's coming in.
You got a crew up in Minneapolis this week, don't you?
I have people in school. I have people getting educated in Indiana. In Minneapolis this week.
They're educating. They're going to school.
They're going to school. They're learning how to. Actually, the guys up there today.
Is that Polaris school?
They're coming back right now as we speak.
Okay, they've been up there.
Been up there all week.
They're Polaris school.
Victory Motorcycle School.
Oh, those Victory Motorcycle School.
Was sending them back up in October for Polaris school.
Oh, okay.
They've already talked to me about when they want.
So are they driving Victories back home?
No, I put them in a rental car.
You put them in a rental car. Okay.
And sent them up there.
Yeah, somebody asked me that. Does Victory, have they have any changes for?
Victory Motorcycles, they do. They have one brand new bike called the Magnum.
The Magnum.
And it is if you're familiar with the Victory brand, it's a cross-country bike, and they put a 21-inch wheel on the front and semi-ape type handlebars on the and lowered the rear, and it's a pretty cool looking bike. As a matter of fact, it's funny. It's actually a bike that we built about 3 years ago, and I don't think they necessarily took what we did because we were doing what a lot of different people were doing. But now you can get a bike that's been customized, but you can get it directly from the factory that way. So,
and it's a Magnum.
Called the Magnum.
Okay. Tom Selleck. Right.
Magnum.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Let's take a break. Frank Barton in studio with us this morning on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
And it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. This is Larry Ray sitting as I do each and every Saturday morning for 90 minutes of outdoor talk. As we roll into our 14th year on the air, Justin Wooten is our show producer, and of course, this being the third Saturday of the month, that means that Frank Barton, my good friend, the Barton Power Sports in West Memphis and Jonesboro. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everybody.
And it's according to Frank, it's fall in the air, and it's it's time to get your ATVs ready and get ready for duck season.
It is not much longer to duck season,
and he can't wait for that. So, well, let's talk. Let's kick it off today. As I said, we got a jam-packed show, and really happy to have on with us this morning my good friend Tammy Sapp from up at Bass Pro Shops. Known Tammy a long time, and I said I want to talk to somebody about knives. And I want to talk to somebody that really loves hunting. And I want to talk to somebody that's from almost in God's country. He's close to Northwest Arkansas.
3 out of 3.
That didn't bad. Oh, come on, that's pretty good. And that's Alan Treadwell, a member of the Bass Redhead Pro Staff team, but so many other things. I don't know. And if I'm not mistaken, on Monday he had a birthday.
10-4, I did.
How about that?
Sir.
How about that, Alan?
I hate to admit it, but I had another one, yep.
No, don't ever hate to admit it, Alan. I mean, relish it while you can, okay? So happy birthday to you.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm just right there at that age where I'm starting to hate birthdays for the first time, so it's new to me.
Oh, it is new to you. All right, buddy. Well, I know for you folks out there, a lot of y'all know Alan from maybe from his TV work on the Bass Pro Shops King of the Bucks, or maybe their 100% Real hunting. Know him from his all travels with Bass Pro Shops. But according to Tammy, you really have a love for knives, don't you?
Yeah, I really do. You know, it kind of started, well, my whole life, really. But it really kind of got deep a few years back. Outdoor Edge come on and started sponsoring me, and that kind of kicked it off a little bit. And then the next thing I know, I met and become really good friends with a guy by the name of Bob Deal.
Okay.
And he lives in Loveland, Colorado. Well, my wife was from that area while we were dating, and she'd go to work, and I'd go to Bob's house, and Bob was a custom knife maker. So he passed that torch on to me and kind of showed me how to make knives from scratch. You know, next thing I knew, I had a whole shop full of tools, and I was making my own knives.
That's unbelievable. And we're talking to Alan Treadwell, member of the Bass Redhead Pro Staff, and also co-host of the Bass Pro Shops King of the Bucks and 100% Real Hunting. And I know that you're a hookup with Bass Pro. Kind of tell us how that came and how you enjoy being a member of that Redhead team.
Well, you know, it seems like a lifetime ago now, but when I was 16 years old, Bass Pro started sponsoring me as a shotgun shooter. And that's how I got my foot into this door. I shot competitive shotgun from sporting clays to international skeet. I mean, just everything you can think of as far as competitive shotgun goes. And I was relatively successful, I guess. And,
now let's wait. Now, this relatively successful. Now, you know, I got to admit, 3-time national world record holder, the U.S. Junior Olympics. Got to go to China, Germany. Broken clays in Egypt, Finland, Croatia, Austria. I could go on and on, so don't just skip over that name now. Come on. You know, I would like to be next to you if I got to hit something with a shotgun, I can tell you.
Well, you know, I've been pretty fortunate over the years. Yeah, you know, I mean, I guess looking back on it, you know, maybe one of the coolest things was winning the world championship over in Suhl, Germany. So
not bad,
you know,
not bad.
I've been fortunate with the shotgun in my hands and tried to represent Bass Pro real well that way. And when I was in my early 20s, they asked me if I wanted to join the Redhead Pro hunting team and represent Bass Pro in a completely different way, by doing television shows, by doing seminars, and gosh, I mean, I just jumped all over it, and it's been an amazing ride. It really has, and I've loved every second of it, and I hope it lasts another 20 years.
Well, it's a pretty amazing. You said it's been a nice long ride. I can't imagine how many miles do you travel in a year, Alan?
Well, I don't really know.
Okay, that's
it would scare me to think about. It really would. You know, between airplanes and vehicles and everything else, I mean, you know, if you take the airplanes out of it, I know for a fact I'm putting about 35,000 miles on my truck.
Yeah.
Every year, and plus I'm renting a car a lot.
And you're on the road a lot, and sometimes I don't know. Do you find yourself? What's that time away? Because I mean, you're doing the TV show, you're trying to shoot those shows ahead of time and everything like that. You're doing seminars, you're doing programs, you're going to Bass Pro Shops, and I'm assuming we'll see you at the Pyramid some sometime later this year.
Oh, we hope. I'll be anxious to get over there. That's going to be an amazing store, and I think they're going to have quite the headquarters for waterfowl right there. So that's going to be an amazing place.
It's going to be something. But do you find yourself checking your calendar like you're some kind of pro basketball player to see what city you're in?
Yeah, it hadn't happened to me in a long time because, like I said, I mean, I started traveling the world shooting a shotgun when I was 15 years old.
Well, that's true.
So
yeah,
it's something that I grew up doing. But here about a month ago or so, I woke up in a hotel room and I had to lay there for a good 3 or 4 minutes before I could put my finger on where I was. And it's been a long time since I'd had that feeling, but it still happens. I mean, it really does, but I enjoy it too, and I think truthfully my wife enjoys me being gone every once in a while.
Oh, come on now.
She'll start looking at me whenever I'm getting her business at home, and she'll start looking at me and say, "Don't you got a trip coming up pretty soon?" So I know it's about time for me to leave when that happens.
Well, I know we're getting into the rugged time here, prime time for us in the Mid-South and the Memphis area here and everything. I know Bass Pro is. I just got a chance to test their new scent control bag that they sent me, and man, it's I can't wait to get in the woods with it. And I know they've got some knives. So tell us some things that's going on at Bass Pro that you've been a part of.
There's just so much going on. I mean, Johnny Morris is such an amazing individual, and the ball's constantly rolling, and it's constantly evolving. Nothing's ever standing still. We're always evolving, and that's one of the coolest parts about being a part of Bass Pro Shops, and just like that scent bag that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I got that scent bag, and I'm planning on using it this fall. And scent's real important to me. I mean, make clothes scent free and trick those big bucks' nose. And the new product that they're coming out with, I just got a brand new paracord knife from them. It's got a Kydex sheath on it where it locks in there. I mean, it's a real tactical, awesome knife, and I'm more of a traditionalist. I'm going to admit I'm more of a traditionalist when it comes to knives. I want that old hunting style knife, but this paracord knife, the handle's wrapped in paracord, which is real cool if you think about it. Because if you're out there and you get in trouble, it's got a 20-foot length of paracord right there that I can unravel from that handle and use to survive.
Wow!
It's got that Kydex sheath. I mean, just the thought that they're putting into stuff is just absolutely phenomenal.
And we're talking to Alan Treadwell, a member of the Redhead Pro Hunting Team, co-host of the King of the Bucks TV show, and a member of their pro staff for several years now, based out of Southwest Missouri. And I know that when I think of Johnny Morris, and I think of Bass Pro, and I think I asked him one time how many products they have, and I didn't get an answer. I'm still waiting on that,
Yeah.
So you guys get to handle the toys first, though. That's part of the cool part of what you do.
Yeah, I've always said I'm the ultimate product tester, and you kind of made joke there at the beginning, close to God's country. Well, I mean, I was born in Arkansas, so I can't say anything.
Okay.
But I grew up my entire life in Missouri.
Okay.
So I am a show me state. I am a show me state individual, and you got to show me. So that makes me a pretty good product tester. And if it can be broke or misused, I'm going to do it. So rest assured, when you get some of that new product off the shelves, it's been through some rigorous tests for sure.
Well, Alan, we appreciate you taking time on this Saturday morning to be with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And again, happy birthday to you, buddy. I'm not asking you what year it is, but you're just a pup compared to the guy you're talking to here. I can tell you that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Larry. I really do.
Well, tell everybody hello, and we'll stay in touch and go get a big one this year, okay?
I will. If you guys need anything, you know where to find me.
I got your number now. Okay. All right. See you, buddy. All right.
See you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Alan Treadwell, just another member of the Redhead Pro staff, and they got cool guys on there. And I know you're probably waiting to see the pyramid come.
I drive past it all the time. And,
yes.
Yeah, I'm just,
You're seeing little things.
I remember when it got built. I remember I was there for the Big Dig.
Yeah.
And Big Dig 2.
And Big Dig 2.
And Big Dig 2. So, yeah, I'm looking forward
to
it.
It's going to bring traffic. I mean, even, people coming through.
We think it'll be good for our business.
I think so, too. Yeah.
At Barton Power Sports here in West Memphis. I have lots of more people
right across from the dog track.
Right across from Southland Park Gaming and Racing, the dog track. And, we think it's going to be good for us.
Well, seeing's believing, and I can't wait, and everything. So we'll find out how that's going to be. All right, we're going to take our first break of the morning on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Justin Wooten is our show producer. Frank Barton sitting in as he does each and every third Saturday. See, he just kind of make sure I had the right Saturday up there. So let's take a break on ESPN 790. We'll be right back.
Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 here in Memphis, Tennessee, as we roll into our 14th year on the air. And Justin Wooten is our show producer, Frank Barton from the Barton Power Sports in West Memphis and Jonesboro, as he is every third Saturday of the month, and sitting in with us this morning. And I know you listeners, whether you're in North Mississippi, East Arkansas, or West Tennessee, are familiar with the next man, the next gentleman. His name is, you kind of associate him with wildlife management, and I know he is a busy guy, but he's come up with some idea that I think that we need to talk about on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and that's Dr. Grant Woods. Good morning, Grant.
Good morning, Larry. How are you, sir?
Doing great, and appreciate you taking time to be with us. I don't know, you folks out there, I know you've probably heard Grant at some time in your lifetime. He speaks all over. I don't know what his mileage is, and I don't know what he gets paid by the miles. But he is, whether he's at a church wild game dinner, whether he's at a quality deer management, something, whether he's at the National Wild Turkey Federation, whether you want to talk about biologic or whatever, this guy has been part of it. But Grant, you've come up with something that I think maybe is, and we don't use the word unique too often, but one of a kind. Tell our listeners what you're doing now.
Well, I do travel a lot, and in an effort to stay home more with my kids, we started just releasing information on a show called GrowingDeer.tv on the web.
Yeah.
Every week, 52 weeks out a year. So if we're planting or we're hunting or the rut's on or we're trapping predators, that's what we film. I mean, we literally make a new live show every week. So, if we miss a deer, we show it. We don't have time to recover. So we just literally film what we're doing every day. Matter of fact, the guys are out this morning planting because there's rain coming through, and we're broadcasting some seeds so that rain will help it germinate quickly. And they're out filming that also. So we just film what we're doing and try to help other people manage their land the same way.
And we're talking to Dr. Grant Woods of what's GrowingDeer.tv, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And is this something that you've kicked around for a while? I mean, tell our listeners how you came up with this idea, Grant, because I know that you're a man that you're a man of the land, so to speak.
I was raised on a farm here in Missouri, so I do love land, love dirt under my fingernails. I have a good friend, Bill Winke, who's a really well-known hunter up in Iowa, and Bill had started a web-based show about 5 years ago, and asked me if I'd do a conservation tip every now and then. And Bill and I were talking. I said, Bill, gosh, I think I got so much I can talk about. I just kind of do a show myself, if you don't mind. And we're buddies, and he thought that'd be fine. And so we just started not knowing if anyone would help us or get behind it, and started putting shows out there, and we were blessed that people did. And Larry, we've just been blessed beyond our belief. People enjoy those little tips. It's a short show, about 7-8 minutes a week. There's no sitting around the fire pot wasting time. We just get right into the subject and try to share information with the viewers.
And you do it now. You launched it when?
We launched it 4.5 years ago. I think we just published a 250 some odd episode. We've never missed a Monday.
That's amazing. I know that we've been on the air here. We're in our 14th year. We've never missed a Saturday.
Oh, there you go. That is. My hat is off to you.
Yeah, to try to do this and keep the outdoor 90 minutes of outdoors. And I know our folks, as soon as I mentioned to folks that we were going to have you on, I can't tell you how many people said, well, I heard him. I've seen this before and everything, but have not clicked into what you do. And so something every week.
Every week. My wife's birthday, Christmas week, whatever it is, we we make a new show, and it's just because, I do love the land, so we're doing prescribed fire, or we're planting, or we're doing timber stand improvement, or, of course, we're hunting. I'm an avid hunter. My 83-year-old dad loves to hunt. Both my daughters, fortunately, love to hunt, 15 and 12, and they love to hunt, so we're chasing deer, turkey, or getting groundhogs out of our soybean food plot. Whatever we're doing, we just film it.
Well, I've got to take this journey back for Dr. Grant Woods as we talk about from where you were and where you are today. And I didn't realize this, Grant, about your connection to Clemson. And not only that, your connection to Hurricane Hugo.
Hurricane Hugo, that's right.
Tell our listeners what happened to your career thanks to Hurricane Hugo.
I was a really young and naive student here in Missouri, but it just so happened we stumbled on to a guy. I was giving a seminar at Smart Club International about scrape behavior.
Yeah.
I would set in trees for my master's degree, just like hunting scrapes with a camera so we could study exactly what deer are doing, how much time they spent there. And he called me out in the hallway and said, well, boy, he called me boy, of course, boy, I've come up with something that's this infrared beam, and it triggers a camera. And my mind started going to, I could get all kind of data about scrapes and stuff. And he gave me one to play with. Well, turns out that was the very first trail camera, literally.
Really? Yeah.
I didn't know anything, or I'd be a multi-millionaire now, but I was a good scientist, so I helped him kind of refine that, and he sent us some. And, of course, they were crude. You'd have to about carry a backpack out there to carry all the batteries out there, and the cables and everything. And so University of Georgia recruited me to use that technology to study big rubs on some quality deer management that was just coming into play, and they had a property with some older age bucks, and rubs were getting bigger, and they wanted to find out why and what was going on. So we used those cameras, and we were in South Carolina, 14 miles off the coast of Charleston.
Oh, man.
And Hurricane Hugo was out there in the sea doing his thing, and, of course, I'm from Missouri. I didn't know much about hurricanes, and everybody was leaving town, and I asked the property manager where I was, said, should I get my equipment and get out of here? He said, nah, boy, it'd be like a bad thunderstorm. So I said, okay, it was a really bad thunderstorm. I spent the night there. It was a really bad thunderstorm. Matter of fact, there was a sophisticated wind gauge on the property for the scientific research, and it broke that gauge at 176 miles an hour, literally.
And what happened to all of your research?
I had about 5,000 rubs on 6,000 acres of property marked that we would go check every 2 weeks and see if they'd been re-rubbed or sign was on them. We didn't have any cameras out there. We had other ways we were monitoring them. And over 80% of those rubs, after the hurricane, we couldn't even find.
They were gone.
They simply just were not there. Rubs, of course, are girdled.
Yes.
So some of those trees died or predisposed to wind damage, and I'm sure a hurricane just picked that up like sent it to North Carolina somewhere. So I was kind of lost without a study area or, no direction. And there were some other researchers on the site from Clemson that liked my work and I guess knew I had a good work ethic, whatever. And they said, hey, why don't you switch schools, come on here to Clemson and work with us on this other property.
And so,
and I did, and that property is where Joe Hamilton was living. He's the father of Quality Deer Management Association.
Yes, he is, yeah.
And Joe kind of took me on as a mentor and a special friend and just really helped guide my early career. So what looked like a catastrophic event turned out to be a huge blessing in my career.
Well, we're talking to Dr. Grant Woods of talking a lot about his GrowingDeer.tv, the new on demand, so to speak, web show that he does every week, but also a little bit about this amazing man's career and how he's taken his love for the outdoors to the countless thousands of people. And I know, Grant, that I'm going to tell you this, even though you're on the line, he's one of the 25 people cited by Outdoor Life who's had the greatest positive impact on hunting and fishing. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm just blessed. I had great mentors. We talked about Joe Hamilton, and Dr. Larry Marchton at the University of Georgia was just a tremendous mentor of mine, and Dr. David Gwynn at Clemson. But I want to take it all the way back. My dad, who's still my best friend, still alive, 83 years old. We hunt together. Was the best man at my wedding.
Wow.
I was raised on a very poor. We're a poor country family in western Missouri farm. And we would rabbit hunt and quail hunt. There were no deer in our county at that time. And when I was 6 years old, I had a little rabbit trap line, little box traps where you'd put carrots in the back and rabbit go in, door fall down behind it. And I got so good at catching rabbits that Dad said, son, we can't keep any more unless you kick him out of the trap and hit him with your bow. He'd made me a little bow. And I think we went from a lot of rabbits to never having a rabbit. I don't recall ever hitting one, to tell you the truth. But one morning when I was walking that trap line, I found a female fawn in one of our fence rows that someone had poached, that the Conservation Department had restocked deer in the county. And I'd heard that, but I'd yet to see a deer. The first deer I saw was that dead deer. And ever since that moment, I've hated poachers, and just loved deer. And my dad took the time before work to drag that deer up to the barn. We had a hog house. We drug it in there and skinned it out. And, of course, we didn't know any better. We rubbed it down with the Epsom salt as our way of preparing the hide or saving the hide. And my dad gave me the freedom to hunt and squirrel hunt and fish and do stuff, but made me responsible for working. And if it wasn't for that work ethic, but that love of creation, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
Well, Grant, we appreciate you taking time on this Saturday morning to be with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray. I know you've got a lot of fans in the Memphis area. Appreciate the work that you've done over the years. And, folks, check it out. Go to growingdeer.tv. It is a wonderful information. It's just valuable information. And if you can't get fired up about hunting or fired about how we are the protectors of the land and how God has been blessed us so much, check out this guy. And I know if you need a speaker, I don't know if he has time to speak anymore, but he's a wonderful speaker and would be glad to set up with you. How can people get in touch with you, Grant?
You can just go to the website, growingdeer.tv. There's an info button on there, and that will make it to me or my secretary. And we do a lot of speaking, like speaking at churches, particularly love to share my passion for creation and the Creator. And so do work those in.
I will be glad to do that. In fact, I'm speaking tonight at a church here in Memphis, and I'm going to mention your name.
Well, I hope you're just blessed with a great event.
Well, I appreciate it, Grant. And again, say hello to everybody at what's going on. You can also get Grant, and I know, you can get him on Twitter. At Growing Deer on Twitter or Instagram too. Just check it out. We're up to date, aren't we, Grant?
You are. You're ahead of me, guys. I got a young man that works for me who does all that. You're ahead of me.
Buddy, it's hard to be ahead of you, that's for sure, and everything. Thank you, Grant, for being with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we'll stay in touch. Okay, God bless you, buddy. All
God bless, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, have a great day. Let's take a break. Be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Justin Wooten, our show producer, Frank Barton from the Barton Power Sports in West Memphis, and Jones for sitting in with us and already squeezed in a lot of information. Thanks to Alan Treadwell, member of the Redhead Pros hunting team, co-host of the King of Bucks TV show, talking about some new products coming out of Bass Pro, and then, of course, the new Browning Shadow Series pop-up ground blinds, their new window curtain system, and, of course, Dr. Grant Woods talking to us about his remarkable life. And speaking of remarkable, we're really privileged here in the Mid-South to have some companies that have been at the forefront of the industry. I mean, I can just sit here and think in my long time in Memphis and my career in the newspaper and the radio world here, I can probably put 5 right on my hand, 5 right off the bat, and I'm not going to name them all, but I am going to name one of them that has literally become a worldwide. You just say Avery, and you know what they do, and you know what they do in the industry, and I can remember when Avery Outdoors started in the garage, not far off Lamar. And some young guys got together and said, hey, we want to make a quick-set duck blind. And it's gone from there, and it's hard to believe, 20 years in 2014 here. And I've got my good friend Tommy Aiken from Greenville, Tennessee. He has been with these guys since they started, and telling the good folks around the area here about them. And I've asked Tommy to come on today and tell a little bit about what Avery's meant to the outdoor industry. Good morning, Tommy.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm vertical. That's the best thing about it,
That's better than it could be.
That's better than it could be, and I will say before we get into this, what Tommy's meant to me as a friend, and what he has taken me under his big wing, and never in my life think I would be doing what I'm doing, and I know Tommy has played a part in that. And Tommy, I know you've played a part in what Avery's done. Tell our listeners a little bit about what Avery's meant to the outdoor industry.
Well, Larry, you were talking about starting in a shoebox, so to speak. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
I've been with them for 19 and a half years, and you and I both, and you won't remember this, I don't think, if you can remember back about 20 years ago at what used to be called the Memphis Boat Sport and Travel Show over the old Coliseum.
Yes, yeah.
That's where the quick set blind was introduced, and you and I was there and walking the aisles when that. I remember seeing you there, and it's like I said, it's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
You may or may not remember, but that was their first showing of any waterfowl product that came out with. And that was their first biggie, so to speak, that got them on the board. And since then, you mentioned waterfowl, you mentioned Avery, and they probably got a product, that will fit it from neoprene gloves to decoys to boat blinds to you name it. And they had the first one come out with a floating gun case. I think you remember that.
Yeah, I think I still got it.
You got one, yeah.
Yeah.
And floating gun bags and flock decoys. They just was the inventors of all this stuff. Of course, we've had other people come along, and as you well know, in the outdoor industry, they're pretty good at copying what you have. But these guys were the innovators of it. And the reason why they have got a super pro staff of guys that are out in the field, during waterfowl season, practically every day of the season, from Canada to Mexico, that help bring these new ideas to the table.
And no one does a better report that they do from all their pro staff all over the North America and some across the sea that they do this, and a lot of folks don't realize. Of course, they're located on Cumberland Avenue, folks. All you got to do is go down Sam Cooper, get off at Tillman, make a left on Broad, go down across railroad tracks, twice, make a left on Cumberland Avenue, and look for the pickup trucks.
Yep. And also, right there beside of it is their super center.
That's right.
And not only sell waterfowl products, but with the upcoming bow season, they have a great supply of archery equipment and they work on bows and got a staff in there to just about take care of any problem that you have, including repairing guns, setting guns, ammunition, and needless to say, the waterfowl stock is out of sight.
Yeah, they don't. They sell a few decoys too, don't they?
They've been known to sell one or two. Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, the number one seller of decoys.
Well, they're the number one seller of floating gun cases, and right now, it's hard to say who's the number one.
But they're close.
A certain particular full-body duck decoys.
Yeah.
They're far the leaders in that.
Well,
and you got speckled bellies, you got white fronts, you got snow geese decoys, you got every kind of thing that flies just about. That's a decoy for it, and they've been in on the ground floor of all of them, and got a pretty good reputation with good products that the hunters seem to like.
Well, folks, really check them out. Go to Avery Outdoors. They're a super center right there on Cumberland Avenue, based out of Memphis, Tennessee. They've kept it right here. I'm sure they've had other opportunities to expand it and do what they might do, but it's a wonderful place, and these guys are probably giving away more products for wild game dinners like I'm going to tonight than anybody else. And I know when we have open mic Saturdays, right off the bat, John Gordon says, yeah, we'll give you a $25 gift card, $25 here or there, everything like that. So I appreciate all the good folks. And Tommy, thank you for being with us this morning to celebrate 20 years. That makes us 20 years older, but that's okay.
Yes, it does.
That's okay. And
it is that, but like I said, at least we're still standing.
Let me ask you before you go real quick. You hearing good teal reports?
I'm hunting in the river bottoms down here, Larry. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to try to hunt one more day before we close on Sunday and tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if you can get there when a little migration comes through Saturday was a pretty good day, pretty good migration. And Sunday, I was going, unfortunately, to go see the Titans get beat. But my buddies went down there, and they had 4 limits from back in time for Sunday school.
Really? So
it came through good. So if you be there when that little migrations come through, yes, it's really, really good.
Well,
otherwise, it's you shoot a few wood ducks.
Well, we can talk about our stories of early wood duck season a lot of times, couldn't we? Yeah. That's where I almost died with Tommy one time. We'll have to talk. We'll have to talk about that. Yeah. Frank Barnes looking at me here. Yeah, I thought I died up there. And, I was there with Bob Holmes and Tommy Aiken in a boat, and there was blood everywhere, and I thought I'd been bitten by a snake.
Well,
I'll tell it.
The thing about it was still dark, and we couldn't tell whether you were dead or alive.
Oh, all I could see was a plaque on the wall to commercial appeal, me and Ernie Powell. I died, and, Bob Holmes was getting ready to do mouth-to-mouth, and I was revived real quickly when I realized I had to cut my finger on Johnson grass. So, okay.
I could have seen the headlines. Aiken and Holmes killed outdoor rider
That's
on
it.
his first hunting trip.
Yeah, well, you would have been famous. It would have been all over. Too bad YouTube wasn't around then or something,
Tommy, we've had a lot of good times together.
We have, buddy. I appreciate you. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you again, okay? All right.
Tell everybody hello.
All right, Tommy Aiken talking about Avery Outdoors. And you can think of stories, and a lot of my stories, you guys' stories, I mean, there's just stories waiting to happen when you're a hunter. When you look about it and think about it.
I'll tell you one time. I'll tell you about the time that my friend and I killed the only moose in Arkansas.
Can you tell me now?
I can't tell you now.
You can't, but you will on one show someday.
Maybe.
You cut me. That's a hard thing to leave me with right there.
I know. I'm just leaving everybody in suspense. I want to talk about Avery for a minute. You're talking about sponsorships. And how they do stuff.
Yeah.
In just a few weeks, I'll be going out to California to the Master National Retriever Hunt Test.
In Corning,
California. Yeah. Avery's is one of our is a platinum level sponsors. They're right up there with Purina, David Carrington, and the entire Avery Sport Dog division. Has been a huge supporter of the Master National Retriever Hunt Test program, and they're just good people.
They are, and we need to get David on sometime again. I know he always said, "You're never going to have me back on again." We'll have to get him on.
I sent him a text while we were doing that little segment, and let him know what we were doing.
Yeah, well, David's one of my favorite people, and so is Avery. All right, let's take a break, and this moose story is going to be gnawing on me for a long time. We'll be right back on ESPN 790 Outdoors with Larry Ray.
And it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We breeze into the final 2 segments of today's show, and wow, we've had a good time. Frank Barton from the Barton Power Sports in with us, as he is on the 3rd Saturday of each month, and Justin Luton, our show producer. We're going to switch gears here a little bit now. We've been talking a lot about hunting and things along that line, but you know how much I love to have youth events. And we've got one coming up, a youth fishing rodeo, the fall junior fishing rodeo, and our good friends out at the Agri Center, John Charles Wilson, got it rolling up a week from today. They're going to be fishing. Good morning, John Charles.
Good morning, Larry, and absolutely, we are excited about our junior fishing rodeo coming up in 1 week, and we're making all the preparations and getting all our prizes put together, and going to have a lot of fish put in the lake, and we're fishing for catfish. I want everybody to remember that. We are fishing, and it'll be Saturday, September the 27th at Ketchum Lakes. It is going to be 2 age groups that we're fishing. We have a 10 and under age group that will start registration at 7 a.m. and they will fish from 7:30 to 9, and then we're giving out our awards at 9:30. Then we have a 11 to 15-year-old rodeo, starts registration at 9:30, and it'll be held from 10 to 11:30 with awards at 12. And we're giving prizes, Larry, for the first fish caught in both age groups, for the most fish caught, first and second places in the most fish caught, and first and second place in the largest fish caught in both age groups. We're giving away bicycles and just you can't imagine all the prizes that we're giving away.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. I know how you guys know how to do this because you do a spring and you do a fall.
We do.
And you're going to put a few catfish in Ketchum Lake, right?
Absolutely. We'll be putting 5,000 pounds in new catfish.
Did y'all hear that? He said 5,000 pounds, not 500 pounds,
not
50 pounds.
And they will stir up what's already in the lake.
It's already there.
Makes it really a great time to catch fish. And we're going to fish, Larry, rain or shine, unless lightning becomes an issue. We did have a little bit of rain last year, but we still caught a tremendous amount of catfish.
Well, I know you do. And Ketchum Lake, tell them where it's located now, John.
It's located directly across the road from Shelby Farms Park on Walnut Grove Road. We've got brand new signage up there. It talks about a new bait shop that we have. By the way, we do have bait that will be available that day that you can buy. But I know there are a lot of stinky baits out there that people put together on their own to try to catch those big catfish.
Well, and this is going to be next Saturday, the 27th, and those age groups, again, are 10 and under.
Absolutely.
And you're going to register at 7, fish from 7:30 to 9. And then 11 to 15 age group, register what about?
At 9:30. And then they'll fish from 10 to 11:30.
10 to 11:30. Got lots of prizes. I am speaking that morning at a men's breakfast, but I plan to be there after that breakfast so I can work 2 meals out of y'all. So
absolutely, come on out. We'll have a great time.
I know.
Appreciate it. Love to have you out there.
Well, John Charles, we appreciate it. Now, folks, you can go to my website, John Charles. I've already put it on the front page of LROutdoors.com. All the information is right there on my website, and you can also, I'm sure, go to the Agri Center. How can they get information about it?
They can go to Agri Center website at www.agricenter.org, and then there will be rules and regulations given away at our office, and you can pre-register if you want to, but you can register the day of the event. So it's a great time. We're going to have a lot of fun and have hopefully that TWRA was going to be able to be with us. We're still talking with them. They've got so much going on this time of year with hunting and everything.
That's the opening day of bow season. I know that.
We always get them in the spring, but sometimes we don't know in the fall. But we hope they're going to be with us. I know they're participating with some of the gifts, and we got a great lineup of generous partners that are helping us this year, and we really do. And
you got some bicycles? You got some bicycles, right?
We got some bicycles, absolutely. But you don't have to even catch a fish to win those bicycles. You just have to be present.
You don't have to catch a fish to win a bicycle.
Yeah, and the bicycles are the 10 and under age group.
Okay. All right.
And so it's just a lot of fun.
Well, that'll be next Saturday. I know it's opening day of bow season, but you can go kill a deer and then come on in and join in on the festivity. You can't miss it. It's right off Walnut Grove and Farm Road right there, Ketchum Lake. It's got all the big signs going up and everything. John Charles, look forward to being out there, and like I say, I'm speaking at 8, eating breakfast, and I'll head on by there later on, okay?
Larry, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you, and this is just a great opportunity to get your children outside in the great outdoors.
Well, I know you don't have much to do out there, Agri Center. You just sit around all the time. I know that.
We just we're ready for this one.
All right, buddy. Thank you. We'll talk to you. All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay, John Charles Wilson. All right, having him on talking about the Junior Fishing Rodeo. And so he's a good guy, and we appreciate John Charles. Are we able to get up with Ron Brannaman?
I'm still here.
Hey, Ron Brannaman, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, man, we're finally hooking up with you. We've been having hookup problems here, so to speak. So, but I wanted to get you on today on this Saturday morning as we talk about what's going on in the White River. This is Ron Brannaman, General Manager at Gaston's White River Resort, where I go to catch all of my trout over there in northwest Arkansas. Ron, what's the water condition been up there?
Well, we've had almost perfect conditions, to be honest with you. We've been having a lot of 1 and 2 generators of water running almost around the clock. So the fly fishing's been good. The fly fishermen can get out and do some wading, especially on that 1 generator of water.
Yeah.
And then when they get that water kicking up to 2 generators, the artificial guys can get out there and throw their spinners and spoons and little rapalos and jigs, and it's just been almost perfect water conditions. The new minimum flows really helped with that, I think.
And your
weather's been great, 75 degrees type thing, and a little cool in the morning. You got to have a little sweatshirt on, but that's just right for fishing.
You got to do that in the summertime up there. I mean, you guys probably sell more sweaters in the summer than you do in the winter, maybe sometimes.
That's true.
I know that for a fact, and I know how many generators they got at bull shows.
They have 8 generators,
wow.
And we haven't seen that in quite a while. We've seen 5 or 6 throughout the summer once in a while when it gets about 95 degrees and their power demand goes up.
Woo.
But, we've had a mild summer like a lot of folks have here in the Midwest, and we've had a lot of 80, 85-degree days even throughout July, and we've just been seeing a lot of 2 to 4 generators on those hot days, so we can't complain. It's been a good year.
Now, I know that fall is a good time to be at Gaston's.
It is, and our fall colors usually start changing about the 3rd week of October, and sometimes they go all the way into November. And, of course, the fall fishing's always good.
Yes, yeah.
Great weather conditions and a lot of wildlife up and down the river. And we got a couple of great nature trails that people like to walk and see deer and turkey and all that good stuff.
Oh, there's so much to do up there. Not just even if you don't want to fish, you got the guides to handle everything. And so how can they get information if they want? Because I know your fall is really a heavy time at Gaston. So tell them how they get reservations.
It's a good time. For reservations, it's probably best to call 870-431-5202. If they want to look us over, they can bring us up at www.gastons.com. Take a look at the facilities. And if they got some inquiries, they can email us at gastons@gastons.com.
Okay. What's your Twitter number, Ron?
I don't know what that. I don't have a Twitter number, I don't think.
Me and you are non-Twitters. Okay, I just want to let the world know that there's some of us still out there. Okay? Yeah. Hey,
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
okay.
No, we're 2 of them. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you, and tell everybody hello for us, and we'll see you pretty soon. Okay.
Y'all have a great weekend.
All right, Ron. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ron Brannaman, general manager. I may be going to the Twitter world. You got a Twitter?
I do.
You do have a Twitter?
Don't ask me how to use it.
Okay. All right.
I did it for the Grizzlies.
You did it for the Grizzlies, didn't you?
Yeah, I get, some of those guys can come out with some pretty interesting tweets.
Yeah, they can, and I've thought about that. So I'm working on the Twitter. We're working on a new web page for Outdoors with Larry Ray. Guy Treble's been working on it. We're going to have a whole new look. We're going to have a Facebook page. We're redoing that. A new email address. Everything's.
You're always working on a new web page. It seems like.
Well, we got so much information on this one that Guy is working on. We hope to get it done real soon. Of course, he lost.
It's a pretty good page. I look at it. You've got me listed on there.
Yeah, and you can go to YouTube, and we've now got a YouTube page with all of the shows listed, plus all the videos that we have and everything. And so, and we're going to come over to your place and shoot a video. But we're going to wait till you get back from Corning.
Master
Nationals, which will be when?
It starts, the event actually starts on October the 9th. That's when the opening ceremony, when we choose the starting number for the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 days later, the test actually kicks off, and we'll run it for 8 days. 599 dogs, the best hunting retrievers in the United States.
500 how many?
599. I counted every one of them. They all sent me.
Can't you get one more to get 600?
Well, we had 600, and somebody withdrew on the last day.
So how does this compare to Alabama last year?
Alabama was 2 years ago. Alabama was still the largest event.
That was amazing. There,
711 dogs out there. But this is over 100 dogs more than the last time, than 4 years ago when we were at the same venue.
Oh,
and
where's Corning?
Corning, it's Northern California. It's about an hour north of Sacramento.
Oh, okay. Not near Napa Valley where
it's about a 30-hour drive.
30-hour drive.
About a 30-hour drive.
And
I'll be doing it.
And how many days is it?
That's 3 days.
It's 3 days.
3 days. 3 10-hour days to get there.
Wow. Okay. We're going to find out some more from this about this, because this is an amazing event that even I look on the internet and I follow it because it's got great information and there's a lot of good stuff going on. Great dogs going on, and 30-hour drive out there.
There'll be some. Yeah, that's just for me. That's not for the folks coming from New York. Got a little longer.
Oh, they got a lot longer. All right, let's take a break. Come right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Wrap it up on this third Saturday in September on ESPN 790.
And it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. This is Larry Ray sitting in as I do every Saturday morning as we roll into our 14th year on ESPN 790 Talking Outdoors. This is our final segment of the day. I think one time I said final segment. Everybody thought I was leaving, but no, as far as I know. Frank Barton from the Barton Power Sports, West Memphis and Jonesboro. We've had a busy show.
Yes.
As always, right?
You bet.
I roll them out, don't I?
Not a final show, just the last segment.
Well, we hope so and everything. So Justin Wooten is our show producer, and recently I got information about a special day coming up. It's called National Public Lands Day, and my good friend Rachel Baker from over at the Hardin County Tourism sent me some information. I had it posted on my website, OLR-Outdoors.com. And there's going to be some special events at Shiloh National Military Park, which is one of my favorite places to go. If you haven't been to Shiloh, you need to go. I don't know why you haven't been there because there's so much history there. But they're going to have some special programs there. So we've been able to hook up now with Charlie Spearman. He's a park ranger at Shiloh National Military Park. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning.
What do y'all got going on the 27th?
Well, it's a chance for people to come out and help fix up the park.
Yes.
This is National Public Lands Day, and people all over the country will be volunteering to help out not just national parks, but state parks and other areas. It's been going on since 1994, and it's a chance for people to help out the parks, and they'll also get a free pass to get into federal parks as part of the reward for their services.
Well, I know, Charlie, I understand that 175,000 volunteers are expected at 2,200 sites across the country. But Shiloh, to me, is a special place. It just feels like I get goosebumps sometimes when I go through there and walk around through the landscape. But you guys really rely on this day to really help you clean it up, don't you?
Well, that and sort of fix things up. We've had them in the past paint cannon carriages and put up split rail fences where there would have been fields, kind of making things look more like they would have at the time of the battle, and that's part of what we're doing this year. The volunteers will be working from 9 to 1, and they'll be clearing out an area that's grown up near the Hornet's Nest.
I know where that is.
Called Duncan Field.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a creek there, Briar Creek, which has grown up with bushes and trees and so forth, so it doesn't really have its original Civil War appearance. It would have been an open field. And we're asking people to come out and help us clear off some of that. And so we need volunteers from 9 to 1 on Saturday the 27th. And we recommend that they bring work gloves if they have them, although we will be able to provide some of those. Also that they wear long-sleeve shirts because there are some briars on Briar Creek.
There is, yeah.
Insect repellent, and we've had pretty good luck with the turnout on this in previous years, and we hope we'll get some strong backs and arms to help us clear out some of that.
Well, we're talking to Charlie Spearman. He's a park ranger at Shiloh National Military Park. Charlie, how long have you been there at the park?
Well, I've been here at Shiloh for about 11 years. I've been in the Park Service for over 35 years at various places.
Well, tell us about Shiloh. What makes it a special place?
Well, it's just unique in that it's among the most pristine battlefields, and it's also one of the big ones. It's first big battle of the Civil War with 23,746 casualties in just 2 days. So it was a shock to the nation, to both sides. They began to realize what the Civil War was going to entail in terms of the massive casualties that were going to result, and by the time it was over 600,000 Americans would die.
Amazing. Yeah, and I know that you guys, you want it to look authentic, and I know that when I go through it or when I go through the gift shop or whatever it might be, I'm a historian. I love history and have read all the books about Shiloh and all the different things. So, folks, here's your chance to help out with the good folks over there at Shiloh Military National Park. So they need to meet. Where will they be meeting at again?
They'll be meeting at the Visitor Center, and then we'll go out to the site, which is going to be Tour Stop 3, that area.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look across the field there, back at the time of the Civil War, you'd have had a clear view. Now there's a lot of trees that have grown up right through the middle of that field.
Well, you're going to get a chance to get a free pass plus a certificate, right? You guys are
yes.
going to give them a certificate and everything like that. And that's all starting. That's next Saturday, September the 27th.
And if they could call us and sign up, we would appreciate that. So we'll have some idea how many we're going to have.
Okay, and that number, Charlie, what's that number to call?
Okay, that's going to be the park number. Let me get you that number.
Yeah, give me that number because we're going to post this on my website, and because I'm sure there's some folks. It's a nice.
Okay, it's going to be area code 731.
All right.
689-5696.
Okay, that's the number to call to sign up. But I guess if you show up over there, they'll put you to work, right, Charlie?
We will put you to work if you show up.
Yeah, they will.
We would like to have some idea of how many we're going to have. So if you're going to come, please call us, so we'll be ready for you.
All right, Charlie Spearman. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Okay.
Outdoors with Larry Ray. Hope you have a great crowd next
Saturday.
Saturday.
Come out and visit us again.
Okay, Charlie. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
All right. Charlie Spearman from over at Shiloh Military Park, National Military Park. And again, tonight I will be at Kirby Woods Baptist Church about 6 o'clock for their fish and wild game dinner. Kirby Woods Baptist Church, 6325 Poplar Avenue. Go to Kirby Woods at kwbc.org. And I'm looking forward to being out there tonight. The tickets are $15. Come on out, and I'm ready to speak. And I know the food's going to be great. We're going to give away door prizes. We're going to give away one of Charles Petrie's handmade boxed turkey calls that has Outdoors of Larry Ray that's been put on it, and that's going to be one of their prizes. I think they got a shotgun tonight they're going to be giving away. That's out at Kirby Woods Baptist Church about 6 o'clock at 6325 Poplar Avenue. Come on out and join us. I love wild game dinners. We've had 3 of them here recently, and this will be the kind of the wind up for the fall, and then we'll kick them all back up after that. And then, of course, you can journey over to Barton Power Sports, whether you're in West Memphis or Jonesboro, and Frank will be rolling them out about 8 o'clock or so.
They should be getting ready to start doing them right now. So,
are the Kubota tractors are all getting out?
We got a lot. Kubotas stay out.
They stay out. They're outdoor.
They're part of our permanent exhibit.
All right, but so you'll open up at 8, and they'll start bulling them all out there, and you guys will be there till when?
Till 5 today.
Till 5 today. If you want a good deal on.
Well, in West Memphis we have Honda, we have West Memphis. We have Polaris and Kawasaki.
Yes.
Kubota, and then in Jonesboro, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Polaris.
And the location in Jonesboro is
West Parker Road, just west of the Home Depot.
And I'm going to throw in a real plug here for Barton Power Sports in Jonesboro for stepping up on this little thing going on with the Arkansas State football helmets. That you guys were one of the ones that joined in on that, and I really appreciate what y'all did.
Yeah, there'll be
1,000.
There are going to be 1,000 black T-shirts in that ASU out there in the football field in the stands.
Yeah.
The players had to take the crosses off of the helmets, but we're helping fans being able to wear them.
Yes.
At the game.
And they'll be at the game supporting the loss of those 2 members of the football team that they stepped forward to and everything. Thank you, Frank, for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Larry.
And get those tractors rolling and get all the slingshots over there too, right?
The sling's not there not yet, but
it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, but if you want to buy one.
You need to hurry.
You need to hurry. The slingshot will be coming. Yeah, I forgot. It's in October, right? We're hoping.
It's in October.
Okay.
I hope that.
We're going to make a big deal.
I'll miss the October show. I'll be out in California, so I'll have to.
Well, when you get back, I'm coming over.
We'll go for a slingshot ride.
We'll go for a slingshot ride and get me ready for season and everything like that. So, Justin, thank you for taking care of us. This is Larry Ray. Let me tell you about next week's show quickly before we go off the air. Bill Cooksey, he's the managing editor for the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing News, and, of course, our fishing guru, Ron Wong, will be our in-studio co-host. We're going to talk to Emma Phillips of Spartanburg, South Carolina. She's with Context New Fish Defunk. That's a fish-catching wipes that keeps your hands clean so fish will bite. I can't wait to talk to her. Then, of course, we're going to talk to professional bass angler Brandon Polinick. He's going to be on our show talking about the new Storm Arashi Wake crankbait. We got Derek Gerald. He's the digital marketing and social media manager for Winchester Ammunition, which recently launched its new WinchesterTV.com. And, of course, we're going to talk to Rick White. He's a longtime mentor. Yeah, he's a mentor. The longtime member of the Hunter Specialties Pro staff about some of the new things coming out with Hunter Specialty. That's all on next week's show on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I got to get out of here. And before I do, I want to say this. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And God bless the USA.
Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee.